Life Stories Live.
Welcome to Life Stories Worldwide again here in the United States. My name's Bill Keith, and I have a successful businessman with me this morning named Paul Baskaron. Paul is a local businessman that I've had many meetings with, and he has shared a lot of his successes and challenges in life with me and other men in our community. And I would just like to maybe have a little different platform today and have Paul discuss a little bit about his business dealings and how he's gotten along in business. I know, Paul, you're originally from Egypt, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Paul, why don't you just start and maybe share a little bit how you have come to the United States and what's been going on in business and in life.
Well, as you know, I welcome everybody. My name is Paul Baskaron, and I was born in Egypt. And my dad decided to leave Egypt and go to Lebanon and to search for a better living. Third world country, it's hard with a big family. And we traveled 7 people, but then there was a refugee open for the US in 1972. And so all of us came to the US. And believe it or not, Bill, we came 7 people. All we had is $200. And it was a tough time, $160 for a 2-bedroom at the time. And all we had left is $40. And we managed to, I was too young to work. I went to school, my sister, my other brother, and the other 2 brothers, they worked. But we managed with the grace of God to keep it going. And again, America is a land of opportunity. And I look at that as God also is an opportunity. Because when you are protected by something good and something that gives you the encouragement to move forward, you feel like you have this powerful helping hand guiding you throughout your life. So I went through school, some college. I worked my way up in a machine shop to become an engineer. Left that job because it was clean. But then in 1992, things collapsed. Lost my home, lost my money, lost my savings, lost everything. I end up going from making $22 an hour to $7 an hour working in a gas station. And at the time, of course, I looked at it as, wow, I mean, I go to church and all that, and Lord, why is this happening to me? Of course, we don't understand what the Lord has prepared for us a lot of times because we see it with our own eyes, not His. And so I worked in a gas station, but then it woke me up when I'm standing next to a person that just came, from the Middle East that doesn't speak enough English, and I'm pretty much equal to him. So something inside of me and a drive inside of me said, you know what, I need to do something. So got my real estate license, got my first business as a dry cleaner. And then it wasn't doing well, managed to kind of buy another one to help it. It's when you stay positive and you stay focused and you have trust in the Lord, He'll carry you through, even though you don't know exactly where you're going, but He'll carry you through. And so at the time, then from one business to another, got into it and then got into the gas station business. And that's where things start to become better. And then, I still go to church, preaching the gospel, right there, helping people. And it not necessarily is about preaching or anything. It's just living the life, being a billboard for other people, helping people, buying food for the homeless, stuff like that. This is what we do. That's why we're here. But Bill, it was a struggle, even though, I got my first business, then life is up and down and it throws you curves. In 2012, I lost the lease on the business and I lost everything again. And that was devastating. Again, lost my home, lost my rental income, lost the business, lost everything. And here I am praying in front of my window every day, as I do every day, and I pray and I ask the Lord, for protection and wisdom on a daily basis. And so I happen to ask that question, Lord, why? I think I'm living a good life. I think I'm doing the right thing. But sometimes the Lord want to shake us up a little bit out of our comfort zone because he wants us to grow. So I always have my hands up in the air and I'm saying, Lord, let it be your will. But I'm just asking why this happened. And while I'm asking that question, I saw a vision. And he says, I have my eyes closed when I'm praying. He says, look behind you. And so I turn around and I look behind me and I see a multitude of people, just a lot of people. I don't count them. And I said, what is this? He says, these are the people that I put in your path to help you. I have assigned people to go out there and help you. Mind you, help can come in many different ways. We just need to trust our heart and our spirit that this is the right help and this is the wrong help. Believe it or not, coming from a third world country was prejudiced, people are prejudiced against Christianity and Islam. But we must look at the heart of the people, no matter what their color of their skin is or what their religion is. There's good and bad in every culture. And God put in front of me a person that proclaimed that he was born Muslim.
Life Stories.
But doesn't believe in God. And I made a deal with him that I've never in my life could be done. God put it in such a microwave way to do it. That person was in dire need of money. And I didn't have much of it because I lost a lot of things. And so buying a gas station usually takes about 6 to 8 months. But this person wanted to make a deal with me where he says, okay, I have this gas station, but as soon as you put the down payment in there, I need that money. Well, so I said, okay, well, if you're going to take the money out of escrow, then I need to take the station. And so taking the station within 24 hours instead of 8 months, that saved me so much money. And I made money right away. The Lord provided in so many different. So if I was a prejudiced person and I didn't want to deal with other than Christian, I would have lost that opportunity. So we need to follow our heart and the Spirit of God that's in us to guide us, not let a way of we grow up in life dictate the outcome of our future. You understand what I'm trying to say? And so from there, things got better again, but I understood what God wanted. God didn't want me to be in a comfort zone. He wanted me constantly to grow and to help. And that's what's been happening. And I thank him for it because it's a great miracle. And he comforted me when he showed me that there's a lot of people and they were different colors, different religion, and it wasn't one. So we need to be like Christ-wise, love each other like he loved us, unconditional love, without barrier, without color, without religion, without anything. Just love each other as human beings, as God created us.
Wow. You know, Paul, like, I think this is something that would be good for today, for sure, here in the United States and around the world, what you just got done sharing, to love God and then to love one another. And that love can do miracles in our situation. And with today's events that's going on and in almost every realm of business, life in general, with this attack of COVID. I'm COVID positive right now. I'm stuck at home.
I could be.
Last year, I almost died from having COVID.
You and me
December
both.
last year, and I know you had the same. I was hospitalized for 11 days and then on oxygen for 3-4 months afterwards.
Right.
As we're talking, my youngest brother just died yesterday from COVID in the hospital. He was put on a ventilator and he died. And you mentioned a relationship with God. And I think that's so important for us in life today. There's so many problems, too big for man. Matter of fact, man is causing a lot of these problems. Whether you're on one side or the other side, whether you are one color or the other color, there's so much division. There's a force right now trying to cause us to stop loving and caring for each other. And we do know one thing, you and I both, as businessmen, but also men who have a relationship with God and how God has carried us through the different challenges.
Yes.
And how God is there for us. And I said the last words to my younger brother in the hospital, and I prayed with him and I encouraged him through the promises of God in Psalm 23, where he says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, he will be with us. And I told my brother, Scott, I said, Scott, God's got you by his hand right now, and he's walking you through this last challenge here on earth.
Amen.
But the promise is you will live forever. And as children of God, men of God, like you and I, and businessmen from different realms of life, you were an immigrant coming to this nation. Here I was born in this nation, but we both heard the good news that God loves us. And we reached out and we accepted it. And so can you share a little bit of how maybe God helped you in the deepest time of having COVID and being hospitalized like you were there? And maybe some of the questions you had for him.
That is Look, if you ever doubted or thought that God is not there, at your darkest moment, you definitely see him and you see his hand, without a doubt. I got COVID in end of March of 2020, where no one understood what COVID is. It just came out. They were guessing, vaccine wasn't there, and it was just a horrible time. I end up going to the emergency a couple of times, and they would send me home and they said, be isolated, because they didn't know. They didn't know. And you and I, as business people, understand in the business world, sometimes people want answers, we just don't have them. And because we understand that, and I understood what the emergency is going on. And so, but then things start to get worse because it goes from your abdominal to your chest to everything. I couldn't breathe. And so I told my wife, I said, look, there is no way I'm gonna, live through this if I didn't get help. And so I called 911 myself, and they came and picked me up. And it was such a time where the person that helped me and put me in the ambulance called him right away. He says, I have been exposed.
Life Stories Live.
Like I had lepers or something. And he says, I've been exposed. And so I guess he was have to go in and get purified or whatever. But anyway, when I got to the hospital, hydrochlorine was not, the president was talking about it, Trump, but nobody would listen, and it wasn't approved yet. And so when I got in the hospital, I asked him to take that, and he says, we're not approved. But they gave me painkillers until they do their tests and see what's going on with me. And they found out that I have pneumonia. And so when I woke up 4 hours later, the doctor says, it's amazing, congratulations. I was like, what? Congratulations for what? And he says, we just got approved. I was the first person that takes hydrochloride in San Diego. What are the odds of that if it's not God? Tell them, okay, take this. And that's what they use that with penicillin. And so they took me to a room, and I don't know what was going on, but I know I had a lot of people, thousands of people praying for me. I was constantly on Zoom with my brothers, but things were not getting better. They were getting worse. I was going from 2 liters of oxygen to 4 to 6 to 8. I got to a point where they moved me one room before the ventilator, which is in my mind, once you get to the ventilator at the time, you're a goner. You're just done. And so when they moved me to the room and I couldn't breathe, I got on the phone with my brothers, and I told my wife, I'm going to tell my brothers a few things, and when he talks to you, you better listen to him very well. So I was talking to my brother and telling him exactly what to do with the business, what to do with the accounts, what to do with, what to, give my wife, my kids, all that. And my concern at the time, I just lifted up my hand and I said, Lord, let it be your will. I'm ready. If you want me and you think my time here is done, I'm ready. But all I ask is for you to take care and give me peace and protect the people that I'm going to leave behind. That's all I can think of. Didn't think of money, didn't think of cars, didn't think of jewelry. Everything was so cheap and worthless. It was nothing. You can't take nothing with you. So, but my peace with God gave me peace to be ready to go up there and meet my maker and be with him for eternity, because that's what we believe. We believe we're going to change an address. We don't die. We just change destination. We're not from this world. We have a better world. And so having that in my heart and the belief with God, gave me peace. And I said, Lord, let it be your will. And that was on the first day that was in that room before I go to the ventilator. Well, once you change rooms in the hospital, or I guess, every section has a doctor. So they changed the doctor. And that new doctor changed something in the medicine. I'm going to say that. But I also say the bigger thing was prayers and me giving in to the Lord and telling him, let it be your will. Because a lot of times we try to do things ourselves and we can't. We fail miserably. I'm not telling you don't work on things. Work as a human being. But there's some things supernatural, some things bigger than who we are. That's why God's there. So you got to let go. I always use this method of explanation of how to let go. It's like floating on water, Bill. There is no way you can hold your neck up or you're tensed to float on water. Impossible. You can't use your muscle. You can't use your knowledge. You can't use anything. All you got to do to float is to let go. Just let go. So, and I've experienced that because I like to do these things. I was on a cruise and I went to one of those islands that they had and I floated. I said, wow. And I floated to a degree where I fell asleep. And my wife was calling me from the shore. And I couldn't hear her. I literally fell asleep until something told me, you better wake up. I woke up, I saw her about this small. And I'm like, oh my God. So I swam back, but it was a tremendous feeling. Let go. Let God guide you. Just let go. And when I let go, things changed. Then the oxygen became not 8 liters. It went down to 6, went down to 4, went down to 2. And all of a sudden I'm walking around the room and, the doctor told me, you seem to be excited. I said, look, I've been here 10 days. No one can see me. The nurses begged me to tell me that, please, Mr. Baskaron, make sure you tell us you want everything at one time. It takes us a half an hour to get dressed to go in and take your blood or, help you out. It takes a long time for us to come in. And so when you let go, things happen. He says, you can go home if you want to. I said, I'm ready.
LifeStories Live.